thought about this moment for a while. Like that whole year, just thinking about like, you know what? I know it doesn't feel like it's possible, but at some point you're gonna hold all these songs together.
Six years ago today, 21 Pilots released their fifth album, Trench. It was exactly what was needed after Blurryface had broken the band into the mainstream with its more radio-friendly sound. Trench felt like a new beginning for the band while also going back to the basics of quintessential 21 Pilots. The world building, storytelling, and complex production wasn't like anything the Clique had ever seen before. From Jumpsuit to Leave the City, I became immersed in the world of Dima, Trench, and the soundscapes were cold and dark, yet comforting. Tyler had become an incredible producer, and Mute Math's Paul Meany was to thank for this as well. To this day, Jumpsuit, My Blood, and Nico remain setlist standouts. Chlorine is in the top 5 most popular songs on Spotify for the band. Levitate is widely considered Tyler's best rap song. Leave the City is regarded as their best closer, and the list goes on. I'm not going to make a long retrospective about Trench because even though I know most of the stuff going on, I don't really know how to piece it all together, and much smarter people than me have done videos like that before. So today, we're just going to celebrate the 6 years of Trench that we have. October 5th, 2018 was a pretty special day for me. Personally, I had just moved out of a certain place with my mom, and we were moving into this new place, and it wasn't particularly too scary, but you know, changes are always scary, and Trench really kind of helped ease my mind, and it just helped me out. When the Blurryface era ended, I kind of got away from listening to 21 Pilots. I became a fan in December of 2015 when I heard Stressed Out on the radio, and from there on I was just a huge fan, but the toxic fan base and just lack of music and any sort of publicity that was coming out about the band just kind of made me fall off. But as soon as that eye opened on like July 8th, 2018, for the first time on Instagram, I was immediately back in the fan base, and Jumpsuit was the perfect start for that, as well as Nico and the Niners, which at the time I didn't like as much as Jumpsuit, but now Nico and the Niners is a top 10 21 Pilots song for me. And I wasn't really too involved in the lore back in 2018 and 2019. I didn't exactly know what was going on, but when the shows started to show lore more and I started to see things on Instagram, I started to realize that there was much more to the story of Trench than I initially thought, because of course, it's a great album. It's the best 21 Pilots album in my opinion. I think it's their magnum opus. So many things about this album are great for me. I think the cohesion of Jumpsuit to Levitate, everything is perfect. If you go through the track list, you start off with Heavy Rock, which is a perfect opener. It leads right into Levitate, which is a full rap song, which we've never really had from the band before, and then takes that same rap cadence and sort of dark vibes from Jumpsuit into Morph. Morph introduces this falsetto in the chorus, which is present in My Blood, and My Blood also brings back the dirty bass from Jumpsuit. Then you get into the psychedelic part of the album with Chlorine. Chlorine slows down at the end, you get to Smithereens. Smithereens is a little slower. It's the obligatory Jenna song, but it still fits on the album. It introduces jazz, which will kind of come back on Legend. And then from Smithereens, you go even slower with Neon Gravestones, which is not only not only is it like the centerpiece of the lore, but it's also the centerpiece of this album. If you go to the Discord Click interview with Tyler on YouTube, you can listen to a little soundbite where Tyler says that Fueled by Ramen thought that what the song Neon Gravestones was trying to say could be a career-ending move for the band and for Tyler, because a lot of people could take it the wrong way. And without that centerpiece of Neon Gravestones, the entire Trench lore full of vialism and demo just wouldn't really work, and there wouldn't be this kind of motivating factor for everything to fall into place the way that it did. But then the hype just pulls you right back out into the Trench sound. Well, it's a little more poppy, sort of like My Blood. It's that obligatory ukulele song with the scream, and the hype is a great song. And then the way it ends is kind of the perfect way to introduce you to the ukulele intro of Nico and the Niners, which has some reggae influences as well as sort of the rap style from Morph, Chlorine, Levitate, Neon Gravestones. Then, of course, you get into Cut My Lip, which is even more reggae, and it brings back that dirty bass from Jumpsuit and My Blood. And then you get to Bandito, and again, you're slowing down, but Bandito really does kind of feel like the title track of this album. It was called the Bandito Tour when they went on tour. And Bandito is closer to Neon Gravestones in terms of soundscape and just everything kind of feeling creaky and eerie and ambient. This whole album, you can tell Tyler was just in the studio the whole time, just locked in. I mean, he was isolated, and you can tell. Then you get to Pet Cheetah, which is basically a whole song about writer's block, and it brings forward some sort of synth that isn't too present on a lot of the album, and it's kind of a different sound for this album, but it has the same rap cadence as before, and it flows well from Bandito to get you out of that slower, long song to this fast-paced, fun, just like party song kinda. And then from there you get into Legend, which is a great pre-closer where he's saying not only goodbye to his grandfather, but goodbye to you, the listener of the album. And it does bring back that jazzy sort of feel from Smithereens, and Smithereens and Legend are both about very important people in Tyler's life. And then you get to Leave the City, which is just a masterpiece all around. It has those ambient soundscapes. It has that psychedelic nature. It makes you feel like you're in the world of Trench. And this whole album as a concept really kind of all crescendos with Leave the City. But you can tell it's not the final song within this story because it kind of goes out with a little whimper. But I like that. I enjoy that. We get to the Bandito Tour, which I think started 20 days after the album's release, which these days sounds so crazy. I think that's kind of amazing. Because with Scaled and Icy and Clancy, more Scaled and Icy, I had a whole year and a half to learn the songs before I went to the concert. But with Trench and the Bandito Tour, it was just a solid like 20 days to learn all these songs. So Trench got leaked early. I don't know if anyone remembers that. October 2nd, I think. I listened to the leak. Of course I did. I also listened to the Scaled and Icy leak and the Clancy leak because I am a bad person. Sorry, Tyler, I'm a leak listener. But I feel like it was worth it because I've streamed Trench so much, and I had the vinyl. I have so many CDs of Trench. I have so much merch of Trench. Trench is my favorite era, my favorite album. It just gets better with age every year. I can't believe it's been 6 years. I'm hoping there will be some sort of 10-year Trench anniversary in 2028 like they did the Vessel live stream. Because Clancy is kind of the blurry face, you know. It's kind of the blurry face 10-year whatever celebration. But I don't know, man. This band just, with Trench, it felt like a whole new thing while also feeling like 21 Pilots. And I'm just so happy that I came back to the fan base for the best era, and Scaled and Icy and Clancy continued that era of peak 21 Pilots in my opinion. So with all that being said, thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you next week, next Thursday, with track 7s.